Hey everyone, how are y'all today?
Good.
Are you excited? Are you nervous? We're a little
Both.
both, right? Both. We need this, but we're a little nervous putting ourselves out there live. No editing. I can't cut it out. So if we say it, it's out in the world. So
Yeah.
filters. Anyway, episode 36 today. We're live and we're discussing something that we've done an episode in the past for, but we need to regroup. And I think regrouping on this is something everybody does on a regular basis, and that is time management. So, as we ladies were discussing time management, we've all had a lot of different changes in our lives over the summer, and we've all had this general consensus of being flustered and kind of out of sorts. Would you say that? Like we've kind of
I'll
lost
agree with
our
that. I'll definitely agree with that.
Mhm. Yeah.
we've lost our way in our beautiful organization that we were so inspired by Holly when we had Holly in episode. I should have written that down. Tiffany, do you remember what episode Holly was with us?
I do not. I don't have it open.
Who knows? She may pop up today and chat with us. So we can look for her in the chats. I don't know. But anyway, I think we left there very motivated to get ourselves organized. And that's when Libby moved upstairs into her new room and we got going. And I think all of us were doing well. But as we found our conversations together in our meetings, we tended to discuss, oh, I didn't get this done. And we decided we need to help each other. And then we thought, what better way to do that than live, off the cuff, help each other go through getting our schedules together and let other people be a part of it, whether they want to get suggestions or they just sit, listen, and get motivated and see how we walk each other through it and help each other, because we all have different things that give us hiccups in our day, right? We all have different distractions, and each one of us will probably resonate with somebody who's watching. So there's my intro, kids.
All right. I'm anxious to get started. I'm anxious to get right back on track with where I was. So this is just perfect timing for me in my life. And let's get started. I was thinking maybe we should start by talking about some of the tools we use or want to use for our organization before we actually get into our schedules. What do you ladies think about that?
I think that might work. I was going back and forth on the best way to do it. Do we do each person? Do we do, and I think that just picking one, I don't think there's any right way. So I think that's a good thing to start off kind of. We know different things work differently for us. So, Libby, do you want to start with what tools you use? Because I know you
Yeah.
use something that very well that I half heartedly use. So, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I know we all have very different personalities. We share some things, but we all, the three of us, work very, very differently and have very different lives. And the one thing that I have always used for years for my family and my business, I've used the Apple Calendar, the iCal app. And it was after a meeting that we had, Jessica Stansberry ran a workshop and she talked a lot about Google Calendar and tasks. So I moved everything over to Google Calendar and I use that for everything. I have separate calendar for my business that Molly and I share. I have, we have one for Consignment Chats that the three of us share. And then I have my calendar, which is the primary one we're going to work on today, hopefully. And the other thing, Tiffany actually taught us Asana, which is a project management tool. I actually was a project manager in my former life, and I was a big Microsoft project person. And so it took me a little while to get into Asana and learn it, but it is a really powerful project management tool that has a lot of benefits. So we kind of use that for a lot of details. And
So, Tiffany, is that what you use for your organization? Do you actually use Asana for your daily schedule, or do you use it in other ways or multiple ways?
I use the Google Calendar And I've been using that since my husband and I got together, because when we first started to try to plan our, like, for the first year that we were together, we was confusing, but anyway, we were running our home from 2 different locations, because we bought a house together, but we weren't only together on the weekends, and we had 3 kids to manage with all their schedules. So we found the Google Calendar was the best way, because you can color code each person, and then you can share the calendar with each other no matter where you are on your phone or whatever. So I've been using it for years. And just recently I started because I was always one color and Andrew was always one color, and now we don't have the kids on there anymore. But I started using it deeper, where I'm actually color code my different tasks. Like, my tasks for my bookkeeping job are one color, and my tasks for my store are another color, my tasks for Consignment Chats are another color. And so like I've been doing that way. But I also use Asana every day for tasks, like detailed tasks. Like the Google Calendar I use more for time blocking, and then I use Asana for detailed tasks. But not every single task is in Asana. But I do have a lot of store stuff in there, because I have activities related to every sale that I put in there. Just to remind me stuff. So
Okay.
I can get more in detail, but that's about the gist of it.
Right, for now. So I am like a cluster of all of the above, pretty much. I prefer handwriting, and I like to have it on my desk in front of me. For some reason, just physically checking it off gives me a different feeling than being on my screen. That being said, I did the Jessica Stansberry class program with Libby and was in awe of how she managed her Google Calendar. So Libby and I did work together, and she helped me set that up. And we use Google Calendar for our family, with our son, that kind of thing, and always have, but it's very basic. And now, of course, as Libby mentioned, I have Consignment and C-Chats on that. I know you can do your daily tasks. I tried to do that in the beginning. Libby and I set it up, and I would do in each time block my tasks. But I know they say you got to do things for like 30 days before it becomes habit. Although for me, I think it's even longer before it really sticks in as a habit. Mm-hmm. I didn't do it long enough and did not end up being successful. So what I find is I need something different for my brain. I've shown my handwritten one before, my big book that I use that breaks stuff down. I never know how to hold it, but it gives me the time on one side. I can do that, write it down, check off boxes of when I'm done. Now, I'm going to just preempt this with a little story. I am actually in the middle of creating a C-Chats one that we can all work together to share. And it kind of meshes both worlds. You can print it and use it if you want to have a printable, or you can open it up, stick it on the side of your screen, and click, click, click. But with Google Calendar, you have to click to go into something else to click, and that's too many clicks for me. I want it there where I can just check a box, check a box, check a box. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to create the perfect mixture for my jumbled brain. And I'm hoping maybe it will be something others might find very useful too, because I probably am not the only one that runs the middle of this. So
I think there's a lot of people that like to have that physical piece of paper to check things off. I don't think that's unusual. I actually have my
okay.
It was a cast off from my daughter, and she's like, just try it. So I actually do write stuff down, because sometimes when you're, in a seminar, or you just have to write something down. Like, you can't be closing the app on your phone or computer to type into something else. So I do keep that alongside my desk at all times.
Right. And I always keep Notepad for notes. I found my most successful was back when I was using that book religiously. And if I had my checks and didn't make it, I would write an arrow and move it to the next day. So
you haven't been doing that?
I have not. No, I've been flying by the seat of my pants, and it is not productive, and it is absolutely unsuccessful. I'm here to say.
So
you're back on track, girl.
I've always been one of those people that wants to have a planner, like a physical planner.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like mentally I want a planner, but
like you should have one, right?
I never do it. Like I can't. First of all, I don't know about. I mean, I think pretty much most of us work a lot on the weekends. And I cannot stand if you go to a store to buy any kind of planner that's got all the preset days, they've got Saturday and Sunday like real small.
Right.
And I want a full freaking day on Saturday and Sunday. Like,
Saturday and Sunday should be bigger for us resellers, right?
Right. So
not me. I don't work on weekends.
I mean,
yeah, right. You wish.
That frustrates me so much. So I actually found this one on Amazon that has like a full page for every day. It's just like this says June 3rd, and then you just flip it and you got the next day. And so I bought this, and I thought, and you know, I haven't used it in like a month. I mean, I can't. Like, I'll start and I'll do it for a couple days, and then I'm like, I can't.
It's hard to make it a habit.
Plus, then I always find like the physical thing is in my way on my desk.
Well, that's my notepad. I love it because it's so big and I have so much space to jot down notes, things that change. I have even used it because it is so nice and big on my desk when I'm doing, let's just say I'm in my block for listings and I research an item. It's so nice and big that the nice thing is when I find comps, I can jot them down in the middle in the open space and put all my notes in there in the midst of that daily schedule. So I love having it. But when I'm away, number one, it takes up a huge part of my desk. But number two, you can't throw it in your pocketbook and take it with you.
Right.
You know what? That was actually the next thing I really wanted to talk about before we delve into the schedules is the ability to be mobile.
Yeah.
Like I'm not always in the same physical location. So to have an extra a notebook or planner or something that I carry with me just does not work for me.
Right. That's what I found too. I mean, this thing is thick.
Yeah, accessible on my phone.
I can't carry this around.
Well, that's where the Google Calendar is perfect for having that available in the Notes app to throw notes in, but it's a lot of clicking. And that's coming from somebody who loves to do most everything on her phone. Yeah. But that's just a little too, I don't know, it just doesn't, I got to figure it out. But yes, being mobile is very important.
Yeah.
Now, I was kind of thinking as I knew this was coming about different things that I know when I put them in the front of my brain work really well. And I think maybe we can hit on for a moment before we go into each individual one of us and kind of help each other with how our days are and our personalities. Some things that you do that really help make your week a success, little things. So for instance, one of them for me, I find that if I am really good about it and I take Sunday evening to plan out my week is much more successful. When I don't, it's not. So for me, after today in this meeting, I am getting back into that habit that before I get in the bed, I am going to sit at my desk and I'm going to make sure my week is planned out and that I know what I'm doing.
And you sleep better too when you do that, don't you?
Right? Because then I know when I wake up what I'm going to do. So that's one of the things, little tricks that I wanted to mention. My other that I always have talked about, because I know we all have things that pull us away from work, is keeping a carrot. That carrot, whatever that carrot is that is your carrot, whether it's that you want to watch The Housewives on Bravo, or you want to go right, or me too, or you want to go shopping, or you want to get a pedicure, or you want to lay on the couch for 30 minutes and play a game, or talk to your girlfriend about nothing on the phone for an hour, whatever your carrot is, have tea, meditate, whatever it is, always have a daily carrot and know that you've got to get this many things done before you can hold that carrot. That doesn't mean your whole list, but just tell yourself, I can't even go to my carrot for a bite until I get these items done. And when I am good about that, not only do I find my day is more productive, but I also find that I feel so much better about myself and I enjoy that bite of the carrot so much more. It's so much more enjoyable.
I'm going to write that down. I like that. That is something I don't do enough.
And it gives you time, and you need you time. You know how we can all get so caught up into the reseller world, whether you're podcasting others while you're working and then the next thing you know, you've spent all day doing that and you've done nothing for you. And if you don't figure out a healthy balance, you're going to burn out. And you have to have a healthy balance. You have to be able to do stuff for you, for your family, and all of that. And the carrot reference is something I've always said. And if I do it the right way, I don't ever have guilt when I'm biting my carrot. Ew.
That's a really, really good point. Yeah.
So that's my other thing, but I don't know if y'all have any other ideas. I mean, I can think of one that you do, Libby, that I keep thinking I need to get better at, that your general overall, no matter how you do it, success, is you have a timer. Cut yourself off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of those little things that no matter as we delve into our personal styles, no matter what our personal styles are, these are just general things for success in your daily planning. Can you think of other?
Yeah, well, for me, I'm much happier when I do my shipping, if possible, in the evening, rather than rushing to do it all in the morning. Like, I'm kicking myself right now because I didn't do I did have some shipping last night, and I didn't do it last night. And then I had more sales overnight. And then I planned to do them this morning, but my schedule got all messed up this morning because I got a text message from my boss for my bookkeeping job, and I had to drop everything this morning and deal with that. And then before this live. So now I have to rush to ship after this. So, and then when I was going to the office every day, I got in the habit of shipping every night. And I really try to do that. I like that better. I feel more content when I do that.
Okay, here I have something, and this ties, I think this goes for everybody, whether it's the carrot, whether it's the shipping at night. We are much more likely to do something and be successful if it is written down.
Absolutely.
And I think putting that in a calendar and maybe handwriting it in the planner is where you can physically cross it off, is for something you're struggling like to be consistent about. I think that's a good one, because if I see it in my planner, in my schedule, like I got to get it done.
Yeah.
Well, I usually put it in there, but I didn't have time to put it into yesterday's schedule. So,
you can use habit stacking as one a podcast I was listening to, and I can't remember. I feel horrible. I should be writing these down. Is it in Atomic Habits, the habit stacking?
Habit stacking. Yeah.
So I liked this whole idea of you brush your teeth every night before you go to bed. I assume. I would assume.
No judgment,
but I would assume that's been a lifetime habit for the majority of us, that you brush your teeth before you go to bed. So before you brush your teeth, do your shipping. And I can't brush my teeth until, you figure out what everyday habit you've had all your life, you can stack that on to, and it starts becoming an ongoing
I do have one thing, I don't know if you follow me personally, you know that I do the National Day post in my stories every day. Mm-hmm. I will not go to bed until I make that graphic for the next day.
Okay.
I will not, because I want to post that like at 7 or 8 a.m. whenever I wake up for people to see it. And that's important to me, even though it's, a stupid little thing. It's important to me. So I will not go to bed. That's the last thing on my calendar when I show you my calendar.
You know yourself well enough to know your brain takes a while to wake up in the morning. And right. So if you do it at night, it's going to be a much better do than if you got up at 7:30 or 8 and did it.
Right.
Libby will tell you, because she was just at my house a week ago, I wake up ready to roll when I get up.
Oh my God. I would literally come out of the guest bedroom and Molly's sitting at her her desk with the music blasting, like listing stuff and doing social media. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's just how I am. I just wake up that way most of the time. So, but I think that's smart that you do that at night, because that is your brain's best time. So that's a good thing to do. So then stack shipping with it. Stack your shipping, then social media, then brush your teeth, go to bed.
Yeah. And then I also want to add on doing my social media for my store, like making that graphic and writing that post and maybe even scheduling it. Like last night I tried to do that because I knew I was going to be busy this morning, but it didn't take. But Facebook didn't accept it or whatever. It didn't go. But I did it last night before I went to bed. I did a social media post for Consignment Chats community, which aired at 8 a.m. this morning, like it published, and then I did one for my store, but it didn't go. But anyway, I tried.
You tried. Well, all right. Here's a couple other basics that I have thought of implementing into my schedule that I like. And I think I kind of ties in with the carrot idea. But for every day, and Libby, when you and I were talking yesterday, when it was an off morning for you and you were like, what should I focus on today? Or maybe that was day before. I can't remember. Anyway.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. Boy, yesterday was a long day for all of us, I think. But I'm going to start trying every day to set 3 main goals for my day. And that's not just business. One of them might be business, but every day I want to have my 3 main goals that I know that I'm going to get done that day. And they can be that I walk for 20 minutes, or I, drink 8 glasses of water, or I list 10 items. I mean, your 3 main goals can be anything. But I feel like if I have these 3 main goals every day, it will keep me motivated to know, I got to get those 3 main goals done too, and they'll tie in with my schedule.
Basis for how you want to build your schedule when we go in. Like, I think each of us need to have a goal in mind, like what we want to get out of this or what we want at the end of each day.
Yeah.
And you say that was yours, like 3 main goals.
This planner actually has the top 3 right here.
Does it?
Oh,
yeah. So you've already got it worked in. But I think that, and the other thing I want to do is make sure that like each hour I kind of regroup and just take a moment to regroup and go, okay, this is what you've done. This didn't get done. So put an arrow, as we next put a pin in it till tomorrow. This is what I'm doing right now, and just take a moment to regroup, get my brain switched to the next scheduled item, and not just go from one to the other without a kind of decompress and set myself up. And I'm not talking about 10 minutes. I'm talking about just a couple of minutes, but just a regroup moment. And a lot of times
I'll show you how I do that with my time blocking.
Oh, good.
I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that. I have a solution for that, and you may have heard it already, so I might be repeating.
I probably haven't, but I just started thinking I really need to start doing that from subject to subject, my back to school time term. But just have a moment of saying goodbye to this one and getting my mind ready for the next one, and kind of set myself up. Okay, so for this next 30 minutes, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to set this stuff up. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. Anyway,
what is your overarching goal for this?
Did you say
what do you want to get out of the?
Who did you say? Because you cut off. Who did you?
Oh, Tiffany. I was asking Tiffany what her overarching goal was. Her main goal to get out of this. At the end of today, and we're done. What do you want?
I want to. One of the questions you asked in the last Unscripted was, how do I refocus, when I get off track?
Mm-hmm.
And that is my biggest, I don't know. I didn't have an answer for that because I haven't discovered how to get myself refocused. Like, I mean, I know that you guys sometimes call each other. I'm by myself here. I don't do that. I don't have that. And I have, sometimes I really have trouble. Like, I will, sit there. Like the other day I went over and sat in a chair for a second and I was scrolling on my phone, and I must have watched reels with the fancy like. I watched those for, I don't know, it was like a good hour, and I'm like,
And you're like, oh my gosh, what did I just do?
Lost an hour.
All right, we're gonna fix that. I think we can put our heads together and get that.
Okay.
So my answer is going to be a little different than both of yours, actually. I start with how much money I want to make for the year, and I need to make to comfortably support my family.
Okay.
So I start real high, and then I break that down into tasks that need to be done every day. So I know I need to list, I'll share with you guys, like I need to list $700 in inventory every day to meet my goals.
Okay.
And that's my primary thing that has to be done, and the rest of my schedule is based around that. So that's kind of what I need, that is to make enough money to comfortably support my family.
So that's your overall goal.
That's my overall goal. Yeah. So I'm starting.
And my overall goal is for all of this is really balance and feeling successful. To me, they go hand in hand. And feeling successful means that when I come out of this, I'm going to have my schedule back together. I'm going to be ready to roll so that I can feel productive and balanced in all aspects of my life. So,
and my other sub goal is to, like, I would like to, the only nights that I can really spend any time with my husband are Mondays and Tuesdays, but those always seem to be my busiest days. And I would somehow like to restructure the calendar a little bit so that I could have more Monday and Tuesday evening free.
I think that would be a good priority.
And and also, but not feel behind. I always feel behind. Like, you know, it's just
right.
Yeah, like.
All right.
So do you want me to I have some ideas for both of you. Do you want me to start with mine?
Sure.
Yeah, let's start with yours.
Okay, because I think I have some things going here that now.
I got to get my notes. Hold on.
Okay.
They're right here.
I'm actually going to work on redoing my calendar as I show you guys, okay?
All right.
Let me share my screen here. Feel free to narrate as I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
For our podcast listeners
that won't be able to see.
All right.
All right. Right now, you're just seeing three pretty faces waiting for Libby to share her screen.
Uh-oh. Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen.
Why?
I don't know.
We want to see your schedule.
I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it. We tested Tiffany's, but...
Well, while you're doing that, I will go on and just kind of talk about you're still using block schedule.
There we go.
Do you see it?
Okay, good. Yay.
All right. So you can see my screen. I can't see you guys. All I can see is my screen. So let me know.
So we can make faces at you and you won't even know it.
I'll have no idea if you're making faces. Okay, so this is my Google Calendar schedule. As you can see, I'm going to start over here with other calendars. So we have a separate calendar for Conchi Consignment and a separate calendar for Consignment Chats. So I use this view where I can look at everything and what I have going on that day. All right, for us, I'm gonna take that out of the view right now. So this is just my personal calendar, okay? And I need to rework it, so maybe you guys can help me. So I'm actually going to take out, so I have repeating events, and this is how I do most things. And I'm going to incorporate some of my Apple Calendar because I still have not done that. So 6 a.m. I'm going to go ahead and delete work time from here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Deleting.
This and following events. Okay, because I have the repeat task set up. So I'm just going to do my morning, okay?
All right.
Does that work for you guys? All right, 6 o'clock, from 6 to 6:30. Wake up.
Rise and shine and give God your glory, glory.
And coffee, and I clean the kitchen and just get ready to roll for the day. All right, 6 to 6:30, and this is how you do the repeat. And you can have this sync up to your phone, so you can get the calendar on your phone as well.
So she's got drop downs right now that are giving her options for daily, weekly on Monday, monthly, and she's choosing daily.
Okay.
And saving.
Did I do that right? Oh, I did 6:30 p.m. Wait, we don't want that. Although sometimes it does take me that long to wake up.
That's quite a long day of wake up and coffee there, my friend.
That's like an ideal day, isn't it?
Right.
I just can't believe you're getting up at 6 a.m. Jeez.
I know. I was doing it for a while, but I'm more at the 7 right now.
All right. I want to change all the events since I have a repeat. Okay. So the next thing I know I do is customer service. I answer any issues or anything like that I have, and that goes from 6:30 to 7.
She's typing in a title and then changing the time for start and end. And then do not repeat, and you're doing daily. Save. Okay. And there it is.
So I do that from 6:30 to 7. Then I go up into my office, up into my shipping room, and I do all the shipping.
You should put shipping and sauna.
Oh, and sauna, because yes, my third floor is sometimes about 100 degrees, and it's brutal.
Shipping and sauna.
All right, so I know I need from 7 to 8:30.
So an hour and a half for shipping.
Hour and a half for shipping. Actually, I'm going to do 7 to 9. I need about 2 hours in the fourth quarter every day to ship.
Okay.
I'm doing this based on, fourth quarter.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then after I do the shipping, I come down and I organize inventory. And this is a really big one for me to schedule in here and make sure I do half an hour of organization every day, because I know that's what I need to keep everything being put away. And
now I have a question as you're going through this, because you're going through task by task by task here. And my question is, so within that, I'm not seeing any break time in there.
That's it. I'm just going to fill out the rest of the morning here, and then I'm going to show you exactly
between what you're doing now. It just seems one to the other to the other to
right.
the other.
And then this schedule can't work for every day, because some days we have to record a podcast in the mornings and stuff like that.
Right. Right. So you do daily and then go back and tweak it.
Then you go back and tweak it as needed. Like you do your overlays. Like I would put Consignment Chats back in there, and I'd take a look and see if I needed anything adjusted based on the C-Chat schedule.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So now that I have the morning, I'm not going to do the afternoon.
Okay.
I'm just going to show you, how I do the morning and how this works for me. Oh, I forgot to put my shower in there. Darn it.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to have to go back and add my shower, because I can't shower until my shipping is done. All right, so one of the things you want to take a look at when you're doing shipping is what your cutoff time is for shipping. A lot of us do same-day shipping. So I need to make sure if anything sells before 9 a.m., it's shipped out today. And Molly and I both do that.
Right.
Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're scheduling your shipping time. All right, so here's my day. I'm going to go through it. And what I do, all right, I get up at 6. I set my timer on my phone for 25 minutes.
All right, so you've got 30 on the schedule, but you set your timer for 25.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what I do is set my timer for 25. So I get, it goes off at 25 minutes. I can do and prep for the next task. I can, whatever.
Run to the restroom,
coffee, use the bathroom, let the dog out, all that stuff I do in that 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
And then I know when that 5 minutes is up, I move to the next task. I'm all prepped for the next task. I do the customer service. Same thing. Timer, 25 minutes. So I have 5 minutes of wiggle room in there to get my brain prepped for the next task.
Yeah, so that's a regroup time right there. I like that.
So the other thing I do is, let's say on the hour, 50 minutes. My shipping time is 7 to 9 a.m. I set my timer from set for 50 minutes on the hour. So every hour, you're essentially giving yourself a 10-minute break to take care of things, to prep your mind to move to the next task, and just give yourself a little breathing room.
I
Because
see.
you can do anything for, 50 minutes or 25 minutes, and you're working toward that break. So that's worked super well for me, because I'm not going to set a timer for 2 hours, because I have a hard time concentrating on a task for that long. But if I look down at my timer and say, oh, I've only got 45 minutes left, it seems very manageable. Manageable.
Right. I get that.
Yeah. So what I do is I keep my schedule pretty fluid. So let's say today I finished my shipping an hour early. I actually just go into my calendar. I move the time up. And I might take my listing and move it up. And I just kind of like move those things around in my schedule. But
so
I know
you actually daily will alter that daily.
Yeah, and it works really well for me, because that kind of sometimes can be my carrot. Like, oh my gosh, I got shipping done in 1 hour instead of 2 hours.
Okay.
I'm going to finish my day a whole hour earlier, and I'll just bump my tasks up. And, sometimes I plug something else in there and rearrange it throughout the day.
Right.
But I always have those blocks of time that I know.
So while you have your screen up,
Yep.
I want to use yours because I don't have mine set up to share.
Oh,
and discuss how mine would look, because when I did this like you're doing it, and then maybe you can show this in a moment because you probably planned on it. You like to do the small blocks, and that works well for you, whereas I do a lot more big blocks. And then so I'll have a big block that might say consignment from 8 to 12.
Okay.
And then I line my tasks up of what I need to get done in that time period, and then click and check each tasks.
Okay, so do you actually use the tasks over here on the right-hand side? You can use the tasks, and as you can see,
right. And that's what I wanted you to show, was how the tasks work, because that is when I use Google, that's where I will put my tasks.
Okay. Yeah.
And I do bigger blocks. That's where you work better with the smaller. I work better with bigger and check boxes.
Yeah. So if you put, all right, let's say I have my listing from 10 to 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Like within that, I'm going to say I want to finish
photographing blouses, or
finish clothing photos. How's that?
Yeah.
I think you can drag and drop that.
I think so too.
In that block there.
Yep.
And I'm sorry I don't have this schedule a little cleaner for you guys to see, because it obviously is a work in progress. Yes, so you can definitely drag and drop all those little tasks within there.
Right.
The other thing you can do is I have a lot of repeating tasks. Let's see.
So you go to the task itself.
Mm-hmm.
Open it up.
Details. There we go. And you can repeat it every day. You can repeat it every week. So this morning, for example, I had pop up here do a post in the C Chats book club, and on Wednesdays I have it pop up, do the social media What Sold Wednesday, and all those little things that I want to make sure I don't forget.
Okay. So I used the tasks like one time, and then I didn't like what it did, and I guess I can't remember why exactly. Does it disappear after you check it off?
No, you can see hers with the line through them. See where
I can barely see that screen is so small right now.
Yeah, so it has a check and a line through the words when you've checked it off that you've completed it.
Okay, all right.
So it doesn't go away.
Maybe I'll try that again.
And I think, sometimes it's nice to clean the slate, but then sometimes I think there's a good feeling of success when you see all those checks.
Right.
That's why I like my. Yeah,
you want to see them. That's why I don't want them to disappear. I want to see what I did.
Because then you feel so good, like, look at all that I accomplished.
Okay.
Or, oh my gosh, I better kick it up a notch.
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how I'm doing my schedule. Like I said, I have to put the rest of the tasks in here. I keep it fluid and move those tasks around if I finish something earlier or I have something else going on that day. The main crux of my whole schedule, like I said, I want to make a certain amount of money. And I know in order to do that, I need to spend 4 hours of listing every day. And so you can see I have 2 time blocks of 2 hours each in here. And that is, my schedule is based around that. Everything else fits around that critical task. So, yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, so I just stop sharing my screen unless you guys have another question.
Did you have another question, Tiffany?
No, I just figured out how to make it full screen so I could actually read it.
Libby, when you end it, you can see that I put my double glasses on. I'm a grasshopper again.
I can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cute.
This is my grasshopper look. Grasshopper.
All right. So that's, I hope that helps you guys a little bit. Like those little 5 and 10 minute chunks at the end of a half an hour, end of an hour were game changers for me. Not knowing I was going to try to go a whole half hour or whole hour, or I would stop to let the dog out, and all of a sudden my schedule would be blown to smithereens, and I'd feel like a failure. So that 5 and 10 minutes is
huge.
For me, it was definitely it.
Yeah, I'm thinking I probably need to shrink my blocks. If I'm going to do the regroup every hour, I probably need to do mine in an hour block versus a bigger block, and see how that works. I tried to do the smaller. Remember, I tried to back down to smaller, and it just, my brain doesn't like that. But
so
maybe
the large chunks of time with the small tasks inside that block.
Yeah. But I think if I do hour, then I can also do the regroup in between every hour, because I think that regroup, like you have that 5 minutes, makes a world of difference to just take a deep breath, get your brain refocused and move on.
Yeah, I think that would help me. I've been stopping doing it on my calendar. I've been like taking my calendar, like I'll do packing and shipping from like 10 to 10:45 or something, just to leave myself the 15-minute break.
Yeah.
Where I start the next task. But because I used to just block it all out, and then I'd be like, oh, but you have no time in there to like breathe, like in between things.
Well, and I'm the world's worst at not stopping, because the perfectionist side of me wants to complete what I'm doing before I move on to another thing. And that's been something that, Holly helped me with when I met with her, that it's a psychological thing inside of me. It's not a calendar based thing. It is truly a personal, emotional, psychological issue that I have to figure out, why I feel like why I can't value my me time as successful and as important as completing this task, and why I think rethinking what success is. That was the big thing she got me really thinking about, was, why is success to you that? What if you rethink what success is? What if your success, instead of the final task, is that entire block, you 100% gave everything you had for that block, and that was successful? And I was like, whoa, okay.
I love that concept.
Wow. And that then allowed me to walk away from that section and move on to the next, because I wasn't looking at that block as, I have to get these 10 items up. I was looking at that block as, this is my listing block, and my goal is to try to get 10 items, but I'm going to work my butt off for this block on listings. And if I got to 9, okay, well, but look at how much I did, and I worked real hard. I never stopped. I gave it my all. So that was a hard thing for me. And it's still something I struggle with. I mean, because it's just been the way I've been all my life. So I have to check myself constantly on that of feel good about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, Libby, I'm sure you see it in and out of every day working with me as a person. Mm-hmm. You know, you see that as part of my personality. And so I have to really think about stopping that and making my thought of success different. So
right.
And I think the timer may work well for you.
Yeah.
In that, like, oh my gosh, 50 minutes is up. I really just gave it my all during that time.
Yeah, I got to get the timer thing down. I think you're right.
I bought this after our thing with Holly.
I think maybe I need to, because I like the physical.
I feel like it's better than setting it on the phone. Like, I just like to have it there in front of me. Like, you know, I don't know. I like it. But
so
I haven't been
have you seen the cube timers? There's a specific name for them. And you just flip it, and it's got like 25 minutes on one side, 30, 50.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a cube. And to start it, you just flip it.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a couple of different timer options, and I'm going to send them to you so you can link them on this video for people. I
think the cube one just really appeals to me, but I'm going to just stick with my phone because I'm in different rooms of the house doing different things, and the phone's always with me. So I'm going to keep it.
Well, that is
I tried tomato timer on the computer, but that just gave me issues. I didn't like it. So.
Well, you know, Libby, again, you're making a good point, but I still think I'm more physically into a handheld timer. Is your phone can go anywhere. It's the flexibility of no matter what you do, just like having your calendar on your phone, no matter what location you're at, that's still going to be with you so that you can find success. If I buy the kitchen timer like Tiffany has and I get stuck at my mom's for a month, I say this because we know it's happened, then I don't have my timer with me. And I guess then I resort to my phone. But I do think I'm better with the physical, like Tiffany. I think I want something.
Look at the cube ones. I think that would be a good one.
I'm going to do research and send you some links to link up.
I actually wouldn't mind having 2 because all my store stuff is in the basement. My shipping desk is down there. I'd like to keep one down there and then keep one up here.
All right. Well, let me do my research.
I do carry this around.
So, Molly, what kind of time blocks are you going to have?
So I think I'm going to go by hour.
Hour, okay.
I think I'm going to go by hour, which will really be 55 minutes. And I think that I'm going to kind of go in between my big blocks and your little blocks, and because I tried the little blocks, but maybe if I just come halfway in between.
Okay, all right.
So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to work on rebuilding my block schedule and building them in hour-long blocks, and then set my carrot. And that's the thing that I'm going to add to the day planner that I'm creating for us to share with people. Is I already have a 3 goals starred on there, but I think I'm going to add your daily carrot onto that form, because I think we all every day need to truly think in our head, what's my daily carrot?
I've tried doing that. I haven't really had luck with that.
Wait till I get my thing done.
Why do you think you haven't had luck with that?
I don't have the self-discipline enough to.
I was about to say discipline.
Make myself wait to pick up that phone to play a game or whatever. And I mean, lots of times, I can't go to the bathroom without the phone. So I will get in there and start playing a game, and then I will sit in the bathroom way too long, continually playing the game.
Oh my gosh, you and my husband. Wow.
Oh my God, that's gotta stop. Oh my gosh, you're killing me.
Just think of it as a hot potato, and it's going to burn the fool out of you if you hold it more than 5 minutes. Yeah, I got to tell you, one of the best feelings that I had was the other day we left the house and I forgot my phone. And for a moment I was like, oh, and Nick was like, do you want me to turn around? And I was like, you know what? No, I don't. It was so nice.
It is so nice, isn't it?
I like totally didn't have my phone, and it reminded me of when we go on our cruises and we don't do internet or anything on our phones. We've made it a rule across the board, not going to do it. Unplugging, only use it as a camera. That is it. And it is just the best week ever when we do that. Yeah, it's so hard. You get tied to it, and you really, I don't know. I don't know. That's
All right, let's work out
personal
Tiffany's
battle,
schedule
Tiffany,
here,
that
man. We gotta get this game thing under control here.
you're breaking up for me.
I said, let's work on Tiffany's schedule. We got to
All
get
right,
this
Tiffany.
game thing under control. Like, what is
Yeah.
gonna work for you?
First of all, I'm going to put a shock device on your phone. And so when it gets to a certain time, it shocks the bejesus out of your fingers. And then you got to drop it.
All right. So it looks very colorful.
Oh, it is. I love that you use so much color.
So the brown is my husband. We don't need to worry about him. I can actually turn him off, but it just helps me to see when he's not going to be home and when I can, have more time in the evenings.
Okay.
Because I do tend to work all in the evening. How come I can't? Oh, I have to scroll it over here. Duh. Okay. So like he does work several nights. So when he's gone, that I can do more stuff. But look, I even have Conchi Consignment's resale therapy on there. But anyway, the yellow stuff is my store tasks. The green stuff is my bookkeeping. And blue is Consignment Chats. And then we are going into a season right now where I have to do a lot of stuff for this Heritage Festival that I'm a part of. So that's the stuff in orange. And my church social media is purple, which I do need to have on the schedule more often than that. So, and then regular personal stuff is like just the pink. So anyway.
All right. First off, I have a suggestion here. It might not work for you, but all right. So much like Andrew's calendar, would it be possible to have the other calendars, the Heritage Festival, as its own calendar, so that you could turn it on and off and just concentrate on your work tasks, and then just overlay it as needed?
Yeah, I could do that.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, so there's not so much in your face.
Okay.
But I'm also somebody that gets very overwhelmed. So
well, I'm just trying. I just want to see everything like fit it all in, like fit into my schedule. Like I don't have the Consignment Chats calendar linked into here. I just enter what I have to do personally for Consignment Chats in here myself. Like because I don't need to see what all of us need to do. Okay. Here. So I can go to the other calendar and look at that. But oh, and then I got the national days showing at the top, which we don't need to see, but that's just for me. But
see, even taking that away is less overwhelming.
Right.
But maybe it doesn't overwhelm you. I mean, I like that you can see it all at one time when you're trying to look at your week as a whole. Let's just say that you do what I'm going to do, and every Sunday night you're going to set up your week. That's a great time to click all the boxes so you see it all in front of you and know what's going on. But when you wake up on Monday morning and you're just doing your business, uncheck the others so that you can only focus on your business. Because looking at all of that, it's beautiful. I love color, but it shuts my brain down because my ADD brain can't handle that much. I think that's why I'm not good with the little teeny tasks, and I'm better with the bigger blocks because it's just too much for my brain to handle. What's Deb say? Same way.
She gets overwhelmed as well. So she has an actual book planner for her work tasks with her blocks. So
okay, so she uses both. I do think using both makes a big difference.
Well, the other thing I was trying to say about using the physical paper is that I have so many repetitive tasks, and I end up finding myself writing the same thing on the paper every single day, and I didn't like having to write that down because it's the same thing.
Do you use the tasks over there on the right-hand side for your Did you say you use those or you don't?
I have not been using those.
She
no.
didn't like it when she tried it.
Okay.
But I only tried it once, and I should probably try it again.
Let's open it up. Put the tasks alongside there.
But see, like this right here, would make National Day post for tomorrow. I have that as a block of time, but it really could just be a task, I guess.
Well, you could use it as both. I mean, it could be a block of time and a task as well.
Right. You could do that with your shipping as one block of work for that hour, and then in it have your shipping task and your National Day task inside of it.
Right.
I mean, it's what works for your brain.
Would you be open to trying, like if you were to do, so Molly's going to do hour time blocks, which essentially are you going to do the 50-minute as well, Molly?
The what?
So when you have a block of time that's an hour, are you going to set your timer for 50
yeah,
minutes?
I'm going to do 55 minutes and give myself 5 minutes in between.
Okay.
And if I find that's not enough, I'll go to 50.
Okay. And Tiffany, like, how do you feel about something like that? Would that work for you? Would that not work for you?
No, I like that idea, but I tend to be more fluid in my schedule. Like I made this schedule yesterday, and then I originally made the schedule for me to do this Myra work till 3:00, but I had more to do that had to get done, so I just kept going. And then I had to till 4:45, and then I had to rearrange everything down here. And then I didn't even have dinner in the schedule initially, so I had to do that.
We got to put our meals in,
Yeah. So, and I just ate lunch in the middle of all this. So
what if you take your yellow and make, like Libby's saying, I think this is where she's headed, Libby, maybe I'm taking over, but make hour blocks and put your tasks for that time, like your morning block, what are you going to get done during that time? Your, after your midday, what are you going to get done during that time? So that in and of the day, all your tasks are done, but they're in certain blocks.
So it could just be here it could just be store stuff, but then I just have these different tasks broken down inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I could try that. Yeah.
And then you have your tasks that you check off as you complete them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm just wondering if that would be less overwhelming and give you more successful feeling checking them off in one period of time. And I find a lot of disruption slows me down. If I were working every 30 minutes, I would be more apt to pick up my phone and see who emailed me and check my text and, go down and see what Nick is up to. But if my block is bigger, then in my mind, I'm not leaving my office during that time. So I am getting the task done within that. So that's what I'm wondering, if that would help you be less likely to pick your phone up and go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I think I'm unusual in this respect. All right, because if I have my timer set, this is me being such a rule follower, right? If I have my timer set for 25 minutes, I am going to freaking organize for 25 minutes and put my listings away and package up inventory and do all that. And I wouldn't even consider veering away from that. So I think you two are a little different than that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, things happen. You get a phone call. I mean, stuff happens.
I do. You know what? I've gotten better.
Stuff happens, sure, but
yeah, it does.
The majority of time, stuff does not happen. For 90% of the time, there might be 10%, and that's probably a high estimate that something comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
It won't be more than 90%.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't think. I mean, my life is pretty hectic, and I can't say it's more than 10% of the time that something throws my schedule off.
Right. And I think...
But you guys, all right, so let me just think. So you guys set the timer, right? You physically have the timer in front of you. Mm-hmm. You set it for, I'm going to use 50 minutes since you guys like the hour time blocks better. You set it for 50 minutes or 55 minutes. Sometime within that time block, you might get distracted if you set that timer.
I won't. Like, I've worked like that, and Nick has come up here to talk to me, and I'll be like, I'm in the middle of something. I can't. Like, I don't, but we're different. We're all different.
Yeah.
I will if my phone dings or beeps or goes off or I get a sale or whatever, I will pick up my phone and I will look at it and then I'll get all involved in something. Yes, I will.
So that's like a personal thing you have to figure out how to change.
Well, I have to say, I did that before I started setting the timer. I did that as well.
Breaking up.
But what the timer did for me was it gave me the permission to ignore those other things for 25 minutes. If I'm organizing, I now have permission not to answer my phone, not to worry about a customer message, because in that time block, I'm organizing. That's what I'm doing.
Right. Now, I like that the way you worded that. It gives you permission to ignore those other things.
Because before, of course, the phone goes off, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, look, I got a sale. I got a packet. I got to answer this.
Really, the only time that sales should interrupt you is in the morning if they're within that time frame of getting it, and you got to ship it that day, your same day. And if they buy it at 8:55, if a sale goes off at 8:55, yes, I got to look at it because I got to get it in the mailbox because they bought it before 9 o'clock.
Well,
if it's after 9, then I don't have to look at my sales till that night.
Right.
And that's usually when I look at
your 5-minute, or you could use your 10-minute break on the hour.
You're regrouping. Your regroup time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, see, I have next day shipping, so I don't worry about shipping it that day ever. But but I do have to worry about pulling it down off of other sites fairly soon. I mean, I don't do it. I don't jump on it, but just in case it's sold somewhere twice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that is something that you do have to.
Mm-hmm. But I never jump on them right that second. But
do you put a couple of times a day in your schedule that you check for sales and listings? Actually make that a scheduled smaller block of time. You have your big blocks, but then in the morning and in the afternoon, you have 2 small blocks where you check for sales and take down listings and other sites. Because that doesn't take long. That's a quick thing to do if that's all you're focusing on. So in your day, make a morning small block and an afternoon small block. And that way, anything that happens in between, you can ignore and go, okay, I'll look at that later.
Okay.
That would be my advice.
All right.
And you've got to just make your brain. I mean, you're by yourself. Yell at yourself if you go to do it. Yell at yourself and go, dadgummit, don't touch that phone.
Don't take the phone to the bathroom, right?
Just go to the bathroom.
That's your 5-minute break. That's your.
I always say to Nick, of all the places in our house that you want to hang out, you're going to go sit in the bathroom? Like, come on, man. Like, it's a bathroom.
Oh my gosh. That started for me when my son was little and I needed to escape somewhere. And that was the only place I could go to get away. And that just always, I would go in the bathroom and sit there for an hour, and Andrew's like, yeah. It's just like, yes, that's a problem.
He's grown up now. Time to break that habit. So one of the reasons I like you guys are not a fan of this, but I like the 25-minute increments is because of that very reason that you guys are describing. So I have 25 minutes set aside. I keep using the organization, but I use those blocks for lots of other things. So I'm organizing, right? And my phone is going off and my son needs something, or, a customer needs something. It's so freeing to just say, I can get back to that in 20 minutes. Like, I will get back to them in 20 minutes. I can't tell you, I thought it was restrictive, but it was actually the opposite of being restrictive. It was allowing me to batch tasks, which is something we didn't really talk about here, is to group things and not try to multitask, just be efficient with one thing and it has your total focus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think, Tiffany, for you, a lot of it is the emotional inside you stuff, like I have to fight with my perfectionism slowing me down. You have to fight your ease of going off task somehow. You have to figure out what's going to stop that. Do you want me to send you a picture of me screaming, and when every time you do it, you can just look at me going, and you'll go, oh, nope, got to do this first.
That might
find
work.
something. I go back to the carrot. Find something you can visualize that stops you. I mean, obviously that's not going to change whether you block schedule, list schedule, whatever, timer, no matter what you use for your scheduling. None of that's going to matter until you figure out mentally and emotionally how to stop yourself from getting pulled away. Because that's a personal thing. So you got to figure that part out. And that doesn't mean you're going to figure it out and not slide back. I fall back all the time on my.
Oh my gosh. Like, I'm so happy we're doing this, because I had just a wonderful schedule that worked great for me. And I just, life got in the way. And
yeah. I mean, that's fine. I don't have a schedule. I had it great for all that time. Y'all know I was telling you, I checked everything off my list. When we do an episode, how was your week? And I'd be like, I checked all my boxes. I'm woohoo, ready to go. And I got nothing for the past couple of months that's why I think this was necessary. We all needed a pick me up. We all needed we're in this together. We can help each other. We can make this happen. We definitely have the tools to make it happen. Right? We've got the tools. We've talked about some great little tricks to keep us focused. So here's what I think. I think we should come back together in a week, just not like a whole episode. Maybe we share it in a done post with what our schedules are now, how we have it set up, and what our final schedule looks like.
Oh, all right. So that will definitely hold me accountable to get this done.
So it gives us a week to really figure out and tweak where we want our blocks to be and how they're going to work for us. And then we can screenshot them or whatever, and then put them on our social media page. And okay, here's what Molly figured out, Tiffany figured out, Libby figured out, and what we're moving forward with after our meeting.
I have to work on my carrot and getting something exciting. Not even exciting, just kind of rewarding myself at the end of it. Like, I really need to work on that, because when I am by myself 95% of the time, home alone, working by myself. So it's very hard when you have so much time to really focus in the time you have, because you have, 12 hours to get all this done.
Right.
So,
but you got to find a balance, because you're important too.
I don't have that.
You're important too. That's what I tried to teach you when you're at my house. We can work, but then we're going to shut down and go get a pedicure. Yeah. And we're going to shut down and go, because life is short. You gotta balance it.
Right. So yesterday I had my schedule all blocked out all through the evening, and Andrew's like, well, when's dinner? And I said, I didn't even schedule dinner in there. So then I went back and looked at it, and I was like, okay, well, some of this can wait. So I scheduled dinner in there. And then after dinner, we actually did adjusted. It was like a compromise. I took my laptop onto a soft, cushy chair in the sunroom, and he came out and joined me, and we sat there and did our work, because he had to do a little bit of work too, but we did our work together with, in a sort of more comfortable setting, so
right. Yeah,
it was kind of a compromise.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like what Deb says. You will burn out if you don't have a balance. And Deb, Libby knows that, because she'll be the first to tell you. She drives herself into the ground until her body says, I'm done. And then she's out for 24 hours, and then she's back.
Yeah, I've always been like that, and I'm really trying hard to not do that and find that balance. So I'm looking to you guys to, remind me of that, help me accountable. Yeah. And I think, here's a really good point. Through all of this, and we're talking about time blocking and schedules, you have to be kind to yourself and allow yourself some flexibility. Just because you have that time block in there doesn't mean you can't adjust it for a day, for a weekend, for a week. And be kind to yourself and forgiving if your day doesn't go exactly as planned. I mean,
absolutely.
I got stuff done yesterday and I had a family emergency and I was able to, rework my schedule and still be here this morning. And just, you got to be forgiving of yourself when it doesn't work exactly as planned. So for those of you that are perfectionists out there, please be kind to yourself. You're still successful.
You are. That's where you have to change what success means to you. And that's where I think the 3 main goals of the day thing is going to help me, because if I have 3 main goals and life throws up on me, that's been my term lately because it's done a lot of throwing up, but I can still get those 3 main goals down. That's like a smaller pat myself on the back of the whole day's list. And I think breaking that down to guarantee success for me would mean a lot. So,
I love that. All right, so I have a proposal for everybody.
Yep.
When we do Atomic Habits as our next book club book,
can we?
Throwing it out there, because we talked a little bit.
You've read it, right?
Stacking.
Has Tiffany? You've read it?
No.
Oh, I haven't read it.
All right, well, Here we go, because they talk about habit stacking, and I think that once we get our schedules laid out, I think we can make some real positive changes as a group.
So that little podcast that I listened to the other day, really, I mean, Nick and I went for a walk that night, and that's all I did was tell him about, oh my gosh, it's like brainless. It makes so much sense. Like, how could you not, like, hello, Yeah. All right, what's Deb saying? I am opposite of you ladies. I used to be a at-home reseller opening a brick and mortar. My grown kids would show up or they would drop grandbabies off. I needed to get my business out of the house.
Totally get that. There is definitely a lack of respect for people that work at home, and maybe the past 2 years or year and a half have changed people's mindset a little bit, but that's definitely something I think schedules can help, like in closing your office door if you have that ability, or opening a brick and mortar. People just don't have the same respect for your time when you're working from home. Oh, she's home, she'll take care of that. I can't tell you how many times my family would say that. Oh,
because what does she do, Libby?
She's home all day.
Because all she does is eat bonbons on the couch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
With the special Chantilly bonbon spoon. Silver bonbon spoon.
No, I get that. I get that when my son shows up. He'll just show up here and like walk in and can you do this? I'm like, no, I got 3 jobs to do today, and no. Like,
show them your schedule.
Yeah,
show them
look at the schedule and let's see where we can fit you in.
Make an appointment. I'll put you in. I'll give you a color, and you can get on the calendar.
Give you a color.
You get a color.
Molly, you had an announcement you were going to make today, didn't you?
I did. Okay. I got to get my image. I did because I've been so into this. This is like, I love this, talking this shop. So I am going to do Molly's Listapalooza contest, and it is going to start on Friday, the 10th. Drum roll. Can you believe it's the 31st? Tomorrow starts September. No. What a great way to start our scheduling.
I know. It's like I'm going into September. I am taking September by storm.
Right.
I usually do this for the 4th quarter, but I'm starting a month early. Yes.
So to help us rock out September and get us ready for Q4, we're going to do Molly's Listapalooza contest, and it is going to start Friday the 10th, and it will go through Sunday the 12th. And you are going to list your little hearts and souls out, and he or she who lists the most is going to win a prize. So I hope this encourages us to get listings out. Now, Deb, I wonder if Deb does online too. Does she do both or just brick and mortar?
I don't know. Let us know, Deb.
If she just does brick and mortar, we have to come up with a way to something that can go with a Listapalooza, but be what somebody in a brick and mortar might do.
I was gonna say we have some brick and mortar people in our community. We do.
What can we do that would be like a listing but based that a brick and mortar could do? Libby, we were both in that brick and mortar. What could we do contest wise to add with the Listapalooza? Come on.
I think individual putting stuff out on the floor and tagging it could be comparable to a listing.
Like, isn't there like a processing of each item?
Yeah, processing.
Mm-hmm. So
it's not as detailed as a listing,
right.
But it's definitely maybe we do every 2 items equals 1 listing.
I like that. Yeah.
All right, so
let's figure that out.
All right, well, I'm going to figure out how to word all this when I do the thing. Oh, she does list eBay
Posh.
Okay, so she can play in the Listapalooza, but I still think we will do a for every 2 items on the floor in your brick and mortar. If you are not an online seller and want to play, every 2 listings equals 1 Listapalooza.
All right.
Yes. Okay. And there's going to be prizes. So, and everybody loves prizes. If you don't, we need to talk. There's something off. But what do we say? It's a no judgment zone, like Planet Fitness. We're not judging.
Right.
But you got to love a prize. You got to, come on. So that's what we're going to do. We'll do a post on social media also to remind you, get you ready, let you know some more deets, but mark your calendar. Don't go anywhere that weekend. Be ready to roll. And Libby she was trying to get her mom to come help. Like, she wants to win.
Yeah, no holds barred. No holds barred.
So we're going to do it, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to see how many listings. I think it would be fun not only to see how many listings individually everybody gets, but how many listings as a whole this contest inspired. Like the total.
Yes.
We should see how many people end up wanting to be a part of it and kind of make can we meet 200 listings or 500 listings.
I love that idea.
Yeah. It just keeps coming. It just
Well, the Labor Day is that Monday before that, right? So Lori's coming over Labor Day, and we're doing all photographing all day long, like a whole big photo day.
Oh, so that'll help set up for a little pre.
Yeah.
Just don't take that too far because it might be considered cheating.
Oh my gosh, Deborah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
We love it. We have fun. We like being crazy and share our craziness and knowledge.
I can't wait to do my schedule. I'm literally all right, let's go, ladies.
I know. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We got to say goodbye because obviously we all have to work on our schedules. When we get it done, we'll post it next week. I've got to work on my Listapalooza stuff, get the wording and all ready so we can get everybody signed up and ready to roll.
Yeah.
All right. Are y'all feeling better? Everybody feeling a little? Tiffany, how you feeling?
I feel like I can't touch my phone. It's on fire, and
it's on fire. It's a hot potato. If you touch it, it's going to burn you. It's going to shock you, and you're going to see this angry Molly face.
Wouldn't it be funny if there was an app where I could just if I picked up my phone, it would be your face looking at me
right, going, "Don't do it."
Maybe I should save you with my wallpaper. That picture is my wallpaper.
Yeah, that's what you need. So every time it pops up, you got to be going, "No, don't do it."
You guys are nuts.
All right, y'all get busy, rock it out, and until next time, cheers.
I forgot my mug.
On your mark and set, Deb says. On your mark and set. Here we go.
Bye. Bye.